Right, so before you get too settled, the next thing you'll need is the equivalent of 2 blocks. It's like treasure hunt around the house today. Treasure hunt of, yes, what would be like 2 yoga blocks, okay? So like this, what we'd have in the yoga room. Or what this looks like in everyday equipment is about 4 kind of thickish books stacked.
Okay.
But they're not massive, they're just regular size hardbacks or similar. They're not all hardbacks, but you know what I mean. So that's kind of the size. Okay, are we all back? And then when you are back on your mat, welcome back everyone. Get onto just a comfortable cross-leg seated position. So you might want to you can use your blocks or your cushions, or yes, we're prop heavy today. So I'm going to grab my bolster. So chair, books or blocks, and just something to comfortably elevate your hips. Okay? And we'll begin. So allow yourself to settle into your seat. Welcome everybody today. So nice to see you all. And allow your hips to settle and your legs to settle into the shape that you're creating, and aware that we don't always sit like this, even though the more we would sit like this, the better our hips would benefit from it, actually. Stretch across the front of the ankles. But if that's feeling uncomfortable in any way, cushion it with a blanket underneath. And then we'll start to find length in the spine. Today's class is about lengthening the spine into a back bending shape. And particularly, we're going to be working on our upward facing dog. So find that length, find an openness across the chest, roll the shoulders back. Let them settle down onto your back. And then just drink in with your eyes, your surroundings. Close your eyes and start to focus on sounds around you. Focus on smells around you. And the taste in your mouth. I'm hoping you haven't eaten too recently. Always try and give it at least an hour between eating and starting your practice, but we'll work with what you've got, don't worry. And then just start to feel whatever your hands are touching, the fabric of your clothes, the sensation of the clothes on your skin, wherever they're touching your skin on your body, the parts of your body touching the mat, or your seat supports. And then just take a moment to release any unnecessary tension. So there will be certain tension in the body to keep you upright, to keep you seated. But then anything else that you can let go of, try and let go of now. Allow yourself to just be supported but otherwise relaxed. Become aware of the rhythm of your breath. And the natural movement in your body that comes with the natural rhythm of your breath. And as we focus our attention on the breath, we invite a deeper breath. A longer, slower, deeper breath. Equalizing the breath as much as possible. Inhale, exhale of equal measure. And becoming aware of the pelvic floor. Starting to engage Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor, lifting the pelvic floor a little. With it almost immediately an engagement of the lower abdomen, so drawing in lower belly. Uddiyana Bandha, just below the navel. Continue to breathe, again watching that expansion into the chest and the lung cage stretch, the muscles of the sides. And even a further lengthening of the spine, especially on the inhale. Expanding out and up in the lungs. On your inhale, we're going to start to just lift the sternum and look to the ceiling. On the exhale, we'll start to draw the chin to the chest. Again, here you can keep the eyes closed or open them up as you will, as you wish. Looking up on your inhale, looking back down on your exhale. From your chin to your chest position, we're going to just roll the right ear towards the right shoulder. And then roll forward again, chin to chest, roll back over towards the left shoulder, the left ear. Exhale, roll forward. Inhale, as you let your right ear drop towards your right shoulder. Rolling forward again, exhale. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale, come to center. And I'm going to come off my block or my bolster and just sit in a regular cross-leg position. So we'll sit with the right foot in front, which will look like this. Now, if you still like to keep a little support under your hips, feel free here. Or if you need a little support under your legs as well, this might be nice. So in a kind of a Sukhasana position with feet wiggling a bit wide, but not a strict Sukhasana. Don't worry about getting it perfect. I like to flex my feet. I feel it really works into my hips, so see if that works for you. But again, I'm not being strict about this one. We're going to take a side stretch. So we're revisiting some of the poses that we did earlier this term, few classes ago. So the banana shape is what I want you to consider right now. So we're going to let's actually go to the left first. So let's reach the left arm out. Spider out your fingers. Keep pressing into your right hip and then extend up through the right arm. Turn the palm to face towards where the left hand is. And then we're going to extend up and out. Keep pressing into the right sit bone. Keep extending and lengthening all the way from that right hip, all the way up through the side, through the shoulder, into. And again, remember not to let your shoulder hunch up. So last week's class was all about keeping the shoulders stable. So let's try and maintain all that information. A lot of information coming at you week on week that we kind of aim to kind of build into an awareness throughout the body that we'll hold on to and bring into each and every practice as much as possible. See if you can walk your hand out a little bit further and allow yourself to go a little bit deeper. So keep the left elbow nice and soft. And then inhale, rise back up. And we're twisting to the right, so it's kind of like a counter stretch now. So we're going to, first of all, without the hands, lift and lengthen up out of the waist. Move into your twist, right to the right. We're looking around towards the right. Hold for a breath. And then let your hands come down, let your left hand come onto your right knee, let right hand behind you. Lift and lengthen some more and twist a little bit more. Hold it here for a breath. And then we're going to stay here and again engage the core a little bit more. Lift the hands away from the ground and the legs and keep yourself twisting and lengthening and strong at your core. So you'll be using your feet and your legs as well to help you maintain the twist. And on your next exhale, you can come back to center. We'll take our right arm out for the stretch through the left side. So then lengthening up, lift, engage, and then turn the palm and start to stretch the left arm to the right. Pressing down into the left sit bone. Letting yourself lengthen and maybe sink a little bit deeper, depending on how it's feeling, what's going on in your body today. Keep the arm back, so it's kind of beside the ear. One more breath. Inhaling to come up. Exhaling to twist. Again, without using the arms, twist around, use your legs, use your core. Hold it. Doesn't matter where your arms go, what they do, just let them do nothing. And then let them come down onto the leg and the ground behind you. So right hand to left knee. Right hand in behind you and twisting away. So lengthen your spine, draw in the belly. Get a bit more twist. Take another breath. And then let go. Hold it here. And then on your next exhale, we can unwind. Okay, so we're going to do all that with the legs crossed the other way. So change the cross of the legs, we'll make it move to maybe a little bit faster. So left foot in front, settling into that position. Left arm reaching out. Right arm reaching up. And this time you might go a little bit further, you might go a little bit deeper, just see how it feels. It's kind of nice to repeat poses actually sometimes to really feel the difference. But again, open this arm back, close to your ear as possible. Maybe this time we'll look up, so a little extra work for the neck, if that feels okay. But if it's feeling unnecessary or uncomfortable, let it go. One more breath, everyone. Inhale, come up, twist to the right. No hands. Hands. No hands. Spin back to center. Take your right arm down beside you. Left arm reaches up. Exhale into your side stretch. Keep lengthening to the fingers. Arm beside the ear. And thinking into it a little bit more. Maybe walking your right hand out further if you need to. Core strong, hips grounded, maybe looking up. And coming up, inhale, twist to the left, no hands. Just 3 breaths in. And hands, again, another 3 breaths with your twist with your hands. No hands. Final 3 breaths. And release. We're going to make our way into downward facing dog. So plant our hands, step our feet back. And just breathe into your regular downward dog shape. Soften your knees. If you need a little bit of work into your hamstrings, you can start to pedal out your feet. Walking on the spot. And then lengthen into fuller expressions, or really again start to press into the hands nice and firmly and evenly. Lengthen up through your spine all the way to your hips, your tail. Keep a softness in the knees and really press your chest back towards your thighs. Lengthening the upper spine, feeling it in that space between your shoulder blades. And then maybe start to straighten the legs. Take the heels out a little. Engage the inner thighs. Like you're rolling your inner thighs back towards the wall behind you. Now we're going to side stretch again, because side stretching, you're making sure that your sides are nice and lengthened, really helps with your back bending. So we're going to shift our heels to the right. Step your left foot forward a little bit and just so that your kind of toes are in line. We did this one again in our banana bending class. So we're going to keep pushing the hips up and back and feel that length through the right side of the body. Maybe you look under your arm, that feels okay. Keep lifting your right hip up and back. Keep your left knee bent. Right knee bent too, a little bit. Just work into it. See what works for you. And up. So let's shift the feet, the heels to the left. I should have done the opposite thing, so I'd probably confuse you with my left and right again. Okay, so my heels going to the left, toes pointing to the right. And back to regular downward dog. From here, we'll walk ourselves up to the top of the mat. Separate the feet hip distance. Take a moment to lengthen your spine again, engage the core, and then take a forward fold or Uttanasana. Hold in. Soften the knees where needed. Ground through the feet firmly and evenly. Let your head hang. And then gently come to standing. Okay. So we're going to take, as a warm-up, we're going to take a couple of rounds of a Satyananda version of the sun salute. I like this one on days where I'm not feeling like the full Ashtanga thing. It's a little bit softer and it keeps flowing. Okay, so I'm just like, it's just a nice one to limber up, okay, without overtiring ourselves. There's plenty of work to be done. So, and the other reason I like to start with it is because it has lunges in it which are good for stretching out the front. So basically, anytime we're bending back, the front of the body will get stretched out. We're contracting the muscles at the back, which is great for strengthening the back. So I know people with bad backs are afraid of the back bending off, but obviously you do need to be conscious, you do need to be aware, but it's not a bad thing to be doing for your back as long as you stay within your own limits and you're listening to your body, okay? So what I want you to do for a starter in this particular sun salute is to make sure that your abdominals are nice and engaged and they're firm. So even feel them. Take a moment to engage the abdominals, not just the lower abdomen, but the upper as well, okay? So feel this, feel it tightening up and hardening up as you tighten up. Because what we want to do is when we're opening up, we don't want to stretch this out of all proportion. We want to maintain strength here as well, so that you're strengthening and stretching at the same time. So as we open up, we don't want the ribs to separate out, the flare out too much. We want to keep it all tightened in and working. So as we lengthen up, open into the thoracic, keep the abdominals engaged, reach the arms up and arch back. Engage your glutes. And then on your exhale, we're going to fold forward, so gently bow in. Bring your hands to the ground, so soften your knees as much as you need to. Step your right foot back, drop the right knee to the ground, lift your heart. Exhale, step back into downward facing dog. Inhale forward into a plank. Exhale, drop your knees, and we'll do nose, chin, chest. So keep your shoulders down. Nose, chin, chest, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward, drop your right knee. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, step forward, fold in. Inhale, rise up, whoop. Arch back. Engage your core. Exhale to the heart. That's one round. We're going to do another one like that. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Step your left foot back, drop the left knee. Lift your chest forward and up. Sink your hips. Downward dog. Exhale. Inhale, plank. Exhale, drop your knees. Lower your nose, chin, chest, snaking up into cobra. Draw your shoulders back, elbows in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward. Drop your left knee. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, step up and fold in. Inhale, rise up. Arch back, look up. And exhale, back to your heart. Okay, so we're going to move to another little bit of standing back bending. Okay, so interlace your hands behind your back. Lengthen up, roll the shoulders back, stretch back into your arms, and we'll hold it here and keep the feet about hip distance apart. So lift and go, but try and keep the shoulders back in the same way. Bring your hands to the top of your buttocks. Press your hips forward. Lift up into your sternum again. And again, this time you can kind of push your hips forward as you arch your spine backwards, just as far as you feel you can go. And the more you engage your glutes, the safer you'll feel, and hopefully you won't have any pinching in your lumbar spine, the low back. And inhale, come back up. Shake that one out, take a breath. We're going to do that one again. So again, inhale, take your arms back behind you, stretch back. And release the hands, keep the shoulders and elbows back and in. And see how it feels nice for you to position your hands. It doesn't matter as long as it works for you. Push your hips forward. Lift into your upper spine, to your chest. Look up. And start to sink back a little bit deeper. So engage your glutes. That will really help you feel a lot safer and more secure as you arch. Breathe freely, breathe nice and deeply. And again, inhale to come back up. Okay, we're going to get our chairs. Yeah, that's the next part. Okay, so get your chairs ready. Now, okay, so this is another one. Have your chair on your mat because it'll grip and there'll be no fear of slipping, okay? So we're kind of breaking down that part of the Ashtanga Sun Salute where we come from plank to upward dog, kind of just skipping the chaturanga part and then downward dog. But we're going to use the chair. So I'm going to get you to bring your hands to the front part of the seat and grip the sides of the chair. Walk your feet back so that you can come into a plank position. So nice and long, tuck your tail, tightening your tummy, tighten up your legs, and you're on your tiptoes. Holding it here. Make sure your shoulders are nice and stable, firm on your back. No rounding forward, no hunching towards the ears. Take another breath. Okay, so now we're going to come pushing off the toes. You're coming forward, right onto the tips of your toes, and then maybe rolling over, maybe doing it one at a time, so you're on the tops of your toes. Also, we're pushing our hips towards the chair, rolling, lifting our shoulders back, lifting our chest through, and looking up, tightening your tummy. So again, those abdominal muscles engage to make sure we don't overstretch through the front. One more breath, arms nice and strong. And then rolling back over the toes or flipping them one at a time to push to downward dog. And this is a lovely, lovely kind of stretch to do anytime you're in the kitchen. Grab a chair and stretch downward dog style using your chair to get nice length in your spine. Okay, let's do that one again. So plank. And actually, I don't use chairs as props in the yoga room too much because it's just messy. But this is one good thing we have at home at our disposal. So let's use what we've got. Okay, lengthen your tail, tighten your tummy, make the plank shape. It's a nice straight body, shoulders back and down. Choosing where you want your neck to be. Nice in line with the spine is good. Okay, so again, rolling over the toes. This is why the chair is nice actually. It takes some of the weight off. Rolling over, flipping over, pushing your hips towards the front of your chair, and then start to arch. Look up. Shoulders back, squeeze the shoulders back. One more breath. Exhale, flip the feet back and come back into downward dog. Let your chest hang between your arms, so really, really sink into the spine. Again, this too, it's a little bit of a back bend as well. Let me do it one more time. So come forward, up on tiptoes, plank position. You won't hold it so long. Good. Now start to work your hips forward as you roll over your toes. Flip them, open the chest, draw the shoulders back, and this is your upward dog shape. Legs off the mat. And downward dog. Now, seeing as there's opening of shoulders involved in your back bending and that we have our chairs. Let's use them a little bit more. So sit yourself on the very edge of your chair. Stretch out your legs. We're going to use it for the reverse plank today as well. So lifting over right on the edge, grip the chair with your hands. And normally we'll have our fingers facing forward. You can do that behind you, but it might just be nice today to grip the sides of the chair. Open the shoulders back, chest lifting, tighten the tummy, point your feet and stretch them away from you as far as you can go. And then lift the hips off the chair, rolling your shoulders behind you and look up. And today you've got your toes down on the mat. 3, 2, 1, and release. Take a moment, a little sit down, and we'll do that one again. So again, lift the chest, roll back the shoulders, point your toes towards the floor, maybe shuffle them away from you a little bit more, and then lift. Squeeze in the buttocks. 2, and release. Okay, now bend your knees and we'll do our little press-ups just to work the triceps. So for this one, you're bending your knees and you're taking your bum just forward of the seat itself. Then we're bending the elbows to sink the bum below the front of the seat, tightening your tummy. Keep your shoulders strong and stable, down on the back. And work the triceps. 3, 4, 5, and 6. And release. Okay, you can get rid of your chair. Thank you, chair. Okay, and we're back, and we're going to come down onto our backs, and this is where we're going to use our blocks today. Okay, so as I mentioned before, hip flexors need to get a good stretch out. So we're workshopping things today a little bit. Okay, so work your way onto your back. Have your blocks ready to go beside you. So beside the hips is the best way to go, especially if you've got a tower of books. Might be just careful keeping them all stacked neatly. And we're going to slide them in right onto the sacrum. So you want your strong pelvic bone on the mat, on the blocks itself. So it's not on the small of your back or into the lumbar spine, and it's not down on the tops of your legs. It's just right there, fine bone. Okay, so from here, I want you to start to stretch your legs out long. Now you might find at this point that you have your support is too high for you. So this is good for me, but it might not be good for you. So take a moment to adjust. And that's a good thing about books actually, is that if you've got a stack of them, you can remove one. If I removed one block now, I really would find that I didn't have enough height at all. So you can kind of play with it with books a little bit if that's what you're using. And hopefully here you can feel the stretch through the front of the pelvis, the front of the hips, the hip flexors. And maybe you can just tuck in your shoulders underneath you a little bit. And we're going to bring our left knee in towards the chest. So you can use your hands to hug the knee in. And we're going to lift the right leg off the ground, point the foot, but let it hover. But hover down towards the floor. So you're feeling that stretch, hopefully. You're feeling kind of a compression stretch here, or hip, stretch to the back of the hip really, and a bit of compression at the front of the hip. Stretching the right foot towards the floor, but not on the floor. Hold it here, and just feel lengthening through the sides, through the hips. Take 2 more breaths. Now let's swap. So bring in your right, extend your left. Again, your left foot is stretching towards the floor, but not coming completely to the floor. Hug in your right leg as much as you can. And both hips should be pretty stable on the block. So nice and evenly weight distributed. Okay, release the right, bring in the left. We're going to do the same on both sides again. Hug it in. And changing sides again. Over to the other side. Let your left foot be heavy towards the floor. Like you've got a heavy boot on it. And release. So this time we're going to bring both knees in and straighten both legs up towards the ceiling. So it's a little bit of core work plus hip flexor stretching as well. Okay, mixing it all up. So these are familiar, you're familiar with the moves, but not so familiar with doing it with your hips on a block. So just take it easy, see how you go. Tighten in the tummy, engage the core. On your exhale, start to release your right leg down towards the floor, leaving your left leg up, stretched towards the ceiling. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, lower your left. Inhale, bring it up. Use your core. Exhale, right down. Inhale up. Exhale, left down. Inhale up. Exhale, right. Inhale up. Exhale, left. Inhale up. Now you can continue like that, or you can try both legs together. So you can just see how you go. You can always revert. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. And if keeping your legs straight coming back up again is too much, you can bend them. Exhale down. Inhale up. Let's just do one more if you can manage it. Otherwise, keep going with one leg at a time. And up. Okay, bend your knees. Bring the feet to the floor. Here we're going to come into little bridge, so lift the hips, slide your blocks out of the way. Wiggle your shoulders in underneath you some more. Flatten your hands to the mat or interlace them under your back. Round down through the feet. Lift the hips some higher. Engage your glutes. Lengthen your tail towards your heels or the backs of your knees. Really lift your pubic bone higher. And then exhale, release your hands, broaden your shoulders, and allow yourself to come down. Just remain here flat for a moment. You can keep your knees bent, feet on the mat, and just allow your back to flatten into the floor. Take a moment to pause. And then we'll gently bring ourselves up to sitting. You can rock and roll or roll yourself to the side. And we're going to bring ourselves over onto our back, our bellies. So let's lift up away. We're going to start in Shalavasana, which is hands down beside you. You can rest your head for a moment. Point your toes back so that you're resting on the front of your feet. And then we're going to start to lift our chest, lift our hands, roll our shoulders back, and lift our feet. We're working the muscles of the back of the body to keep you lifting away from the floor, anti-gravity. One more breath. Now keep your chest lifting, lower your feet, bring your hands under your shoulders and press into Cobra. Keep your elbows bent, keep your shoulders rolling back, keep your pelvis on the mat. Try not to let the buttocks tighten up too much. And keep lengthening out of the lower back into the upper back. Okay, we're going to turn this into upward facing dog. So from here, tuck your toes. Mine are kind of come off the mat, so just wiggle up a bit. So that you've got your toes tucked. We're going to use them to propel us forward so that we're getting our chest through the arms more. We're going to flip onto the fronts of the feet. So that's how we were in the practice with the chair earlier. And we're going to bring our chest through the arms, just like we did, and the hips forward as we did towards the chair earlier, okay? So with the toes tucked, flip forward, bring the chest forward, hips forward, and hold it here. So legs are off the ground. The only things touching the ground are the fronts of the feet and the hands. Take a few breaths. Keep the arms strong, keep the shoulders back, chest moving forward, hips moving forward. Maybe even look up if that's okay. Otherwise, look forward is fine. Best not to crank the neck. Okay. Drop the knees. Ease the hips back into child's pose. And take a gentle stretch. So maybe just bringing your head onto your arms to let yourself curl forward a little bit. And I'll just see where we're at. Okay. A little curl in. Okay, let's do that one again. Walk forward. Bring yourself down onto your belly. Maybe you'll come down through a little chaturanga. So we can do chaturanga on our knees, actually. Let's do that. Hug and hover. 3, 2, 1. Lower to the belly. Hands back. Inhale, lift arms, feet, chest, look forward. Squeeze back your shoulders. 3, 2, 1. Plant your hands under your shoulders, let your feet come down. Inhale, lift to cobra, relax your buttocks, lengthen up through the spine into the chest, draw the shoulders back. Again, bend the elbows as much as you need to. Keep your pelvis on the mat. Press into the tops of your feet even. Engage the thighs, the fronts of the thighs, to press into the ground so you can lengthen out of your lumbar spine a bit more. Find strength in the legs. Okay, now flip the feet. So tuck the toes under to flip you, like the feet are flipping forward and pushing you forward. Can you see that action? Push forward. Press into the tops of the feet. Make sure the legs are off the ground. Your wrists are, you're right under your shoulders and your chest is through the arms. Look up. And back to downward dog this time. Stretch it out. Soften your knees, stretch through the spine. Do what feels right, what feels nice. This is your counter stretch, so you can play with it. Now let's gently walk the feet in a little bit more. Walk the hands in a little bit more. Take a deeper forward fold. Walk the feet up a little bit more. Shortening your forward fold. And gently rolling yourself up to standing. Okay, so we're going to put it into our sun salute. So we're finishing with our Ashtanga Surya Namaskar A. So we're going to be really, really conscious of all of those elements. The core strength, the arching, but also, yeah, the legs getting involved, getting your chest right through your arms. And we can do it in the same way that we just did there now as well. Okay, so that was the plan. So we're going to do the knees, chaturanga, cobra, upward dog for our first round. Okay, standing at the top of the mat, Tadasana. Take a pause, take a moment, ground through your feet, engage your legs. Feel them tightening, lift your kneecaps. Engage your core, lengthen your spine, lift your ribcage away from the pelvis. On your inhale, reach up. We'll take that little back bend again here. So reach up, arch back. Exhale, fold forward, keeping a straight back as you fold down. Inhale, half lift. Step back into your plank. Stabilize your shoulders. Drop your knees, tighten in your tummy. Hover in your knee chaturanga. 3, 2, 1, lower down. Inhale, this time straight to cobra. Take another breath. Tuck your toes. Push yourself forward and up. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Let's step forward with the right foot. And left to join. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. And exhale to the heart. Do one more like that. Inhale, reaching up, arching back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, half lift. Step back. Let's see if we, you can drop your knees like we just did, or you can come down through chaturanga. We won't hold it for long. We'll push ourselves forward straight away and up into upward dog this time. Roll the shoulders back, push the chest forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Two more breaths. Step forward with your left foot this time, just to kind of keep balance. And step the right forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, back to your heart. So, we'll make our way down to sitting. We're going to take just a few forward folds, just going to reset the spine. Bring yourself down into a sitting position. I know we lost a few minutes with our technical hitches and our internet blips, so I hope you get okay to stay on for a few more minutes. I'll make it up to you. Let's find our sit bones. Let's find Baddha Konasana first of all. So opening the knees out wide, soles of the feet together. Come right onto your sit bones. See if you can clasp your hands around your toes and then start to draw yourself forward in a forward fold. So engaging your glutes here helps to draw the knees down a little bit. Flattening into the lower back. Just letting it round forwards to release from all the backward work. Inhale. Start to rise back up. We're going to bring the right foot under the left. So lift your left knee up. Wiggle your right foot underneath and bring the left foot to the outside of the right knee. See if you can get both sit bones to the floor. So that takes a moment to just settle in, to wiggle the feet out if they need to be adjusted, just to allow your hips to settle to the ground. Lift and lengthen. And we're twisting to the left. So bring your left hand behind you. Hook your elbow, right elbow to the outside of the knee and press into that to give you your twist. You're drawing in the belly as well. Lifting and lengthening. Looking round over the left shoulder. And release. Come back to center. Unravel the legs. So this time we'll keep the right leg bent, foot on the mat, and the left knee can come out to the side. Bring your foot under that space you've created under the right leg. Wiggle that knee forward and the foot out to the side. Step across your legs. So step the right foot to the outside of the left thigh. Press down into that right foot and left foot and find your sit bones and contact with the ground with those sit bones. Sit up nice and tall, roll back the shoulders. Stack your head neatly, top of your spine, and we'll twist to the right. So bring your right hand behind you, press into it to get nice and long. Twist using your hand, and then bring your elbow to the outside of your right knee. Press yourself around. Enjoy your twist. Twisting out all those muscles that have been contracting in your back. So find some release, hopefully, with your twist. The counter stretch. And on your next exhale, we can unwind again. Let's stretch our legs straight out. So unravel them, stretch them straight out for Paschimottanasana. Find your sit bones. Sit nice and tall, roll the shoulders back and down. And then gently start to walk your hands down along your legs towards your feet to come into your forward fold. When your hands reach their kind of maximum destination, let's lift and lengthen the chest forward. Again, stretching and flattening the lower back. Draw in the belly and then come down. Maybe you'll come down a little further with your hands this time. Hold it here first. Another 5 breaths if you can. Inhale, start to bring yourself back up to sitting. Let's come onto our backs. And scoot yourself down your mat just enough that you have a little bit of space behind you. We're going to come into a plow. So hopefully your back is okay with that. It's a good forward bending position with a little extra weight. Your legs are heavy and it means doing what we just did in our forward fold, but upside down. So there's normally a little bit of extra pressure there. So let's just take it however your back is allowing you to take it today. So we'll start rocking the hips up like shoulder stand. Bring your hands to your back. Curl your knees towards your forehead. And then you can start to stretch your feet back towards the ground. If that's not feeling good, keep your knees towards your forehead and your hands on your back supporting you just as much as feels like a nice rounding stretch. If it feels safe for you to let your hands come to the floor, do. Holding it here just for another couple of breaths. And then gently, the way you came in, curl your feet back towards your buttocks. Bring your hands back to your back if they've come away. And gently allow yourself to roll back down onto your back. Bring your feet to the ground. And then you can lengthen yourself out for Shavasana. So for me, I have to scoot back up my mat again. Let my feet flop out to the sides. Relax the buttocks. Relax the hips. So allow the legs to roll out of their sockets. Completely heavy, completely relaxed. Allow your palms to smile towards the ceiling as they flop out. Shoulders rolling out with the shoulder blades flattening into the ground. Tucking your chin very slightly in towards your chest, just so that you can lengthen your neck. Be comfortable. And then let go of all tension. Unlike our seated position earlier, where we could let go of unnecessary tension, where some tension is required to keep us upright, here you are completely supported by the ground. Surrender to the earth. Check in with your body. Take a moment to notice everything. Relaxing the pelvic floor. Relaxing those abdominal muscles that have been supporting you and protecting you today. Relaxing your jaw, that hinge point in your jaw. Soften. Soften your cheeks, your forehead, and your whole scalp. All of those muscles. And then just come to the breath and again notice the movement in the body with each breath, so that filling and expanding of the chest without effort, without control. Just noticing the body's own rhythm again, natural movement. Maybe you'll notice your pulse, and that natural movement of blood through the body. And through our back bending, maybe noticing openness across the chest and an ability to expand deeper. As you allow your back to rest. Staying with your breath. I invite you to stay here as long as you like. Again, the benefit of being at home. You don't have to rush off anywhere. Just stay where you are. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.